Welcome back to another Hearthstone budget video. Today we're looking at the class of Druid and a couple familiar cards or familiar archetype that you will see if you've stuck around with this series for several expansions. We have a Token Druid design, and it's a bit overhauled from what we've seen last expansion. Generally, the mech theme in the Token Druid is a strong idea. We're not building too hard on it. We are including mechs, but those are more victims of coincidence than actually because of the tribe. You want to run the mech tribe, but the mech tribe
requires both Snip Snap and likely Zilliax.
Is built to support cards like Snip Snap and Zilliax, which are not budget friendly. They're left out. So we're not selling out completely to the mech variety. So we're going to be playing the more standard, more classic variety with the key cards like Whispering Woods, Soul of the Forest, iconic combo at this point.
Yeah.
And one card that I think is still the hero of all budget Druid players out there for the entire year is the Forest Aid. I think that card is incredibly strong, incredibly underrated, one of the most important cards in this deck, especially budget variety. No Vargoth either. We had Vargoth in the Rise of Shadows variety, but he was free at that point. We can't rely that everyone has Vargoth.
To be fair, he did fall a little bit out of favor in general. It's still a good card, but I think also one of the reasons why it was played so much in Rise of Shadows was because he was very flashy.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
A lot of decks have, for consistency purposes, include other cards instead. There is a few packages you can run here. We decided to go with kind of a bit of a middle-of-the-road, strong minion-based option, because this is the most budget-friendly, and also because this is relatively minion-based, like a lot of current versions, there is no Crystal Song Portals in here, which actually, I believe, makes this significantly cheaper than the Rise of Shadows one we presented. And I want to say this is about the same strength, if not maybe slightly better.
Slightly better. Slightly more refined, for sure.
Yeah, and Bees, for example, is a very flexible card that you can use.
I was about to point it out. Key cards, aside from Soul of the Forest in this one, and of course, except for the obvious Savage or Power of the Wild, Bees. Bees is a very important, very strong new card, and Acorn Bear is another key card in this one. Best one drop by far for this archetype. And of course,
I mean, it's one of the strongest 1-drops in the game.
Druid specific card. The 1/1s that you get potentially play 2 1/1s on turn 2. It's
and also really much better. Good for an early Whispering Woods to just have a big hand, which this also helps with.
So, quick upgrade tip: if you wanted to improve this, you have some thoughts, you wanted to improve it. We already mentioned the mech package, which is possible to play. Snip Snap and Zilliax are the key legends in that. Snip Snap even more so than Zilliax in the aggressive variety.
The nice thing about Snip Snap also is that in any board centric deck you can really include Snip Snap as either a tall or wide option. In this case you'd rather go wide, but even without the mech package it's always a good inclusion.
Running Snip Snap or running the mechs also gives you an opportunity to play some fringe mechs that didn't make this list, like Replicating Menace, that might end up justifying the inclusion of those if you have the high impact legends to go with it. But other than that, Scenarios is a very fringe option. I wouldn't recommend it generally for a legend. If you have them, you can try them out, but I would not recommend crafting them for this deck.
I tried it towards the beginning of Rise of Shadows. It underperforms, generally speaking. Yeah.
So this is the deck we're going to be playing with. Very light. That's what I think. This deck feels very light, and it plays really nicely and smoothly. Because the curve, I think, is what we optimize just a little bit from. If you want to show off the curve, we optimize it just a little bit in terms of playability. It feels like you get the right thing more often, and that might be a bit of just coincidence or bias, but I think this is pretty well tuned. So we're gonna get into game and see what we can do. All right, we have a rogue. Probably gonna be a rather quick match, rather aggressive leaning strategy on both sides.
Yeah, rogue usually can't out-damage us that effectively. And because we always can restock the board, stuff like Fan of Knives barely phases us either.
Quest is offhand possibility. Generally, I like chances against most rogues, the mid-range-ish ones, because if we can get the waves of pressure correct, we have a decent chance.
If memory serves, there's only one unfavorable rogue matchup. Don't ask me which one. I was briefly looking over the matchup page on Edge's Replay earlier. But also, rogue generally feels pretty good to play against. Although, not having anything turn 1 does not feel very good.
The matchup numbers that you see on those pages, like if it's between like 3 or 4 percentage points, usually pretty ambiguous. But I definitely like this matchup.
There's a lot of favorable matchups in Token Druid. Also, some decks that you are gonna encounter a lot on the ladder. The main weakness, I think, is the Combo Priest, which supposedly has about a 1 in 3 win rate only. But that also just comes with...
Alright, we have Quest. I think we play Guardians.
Yeah.
That's definitely the play. We're kind of looking at Rat Lackey next turn. Depending on the Lackey, if it's faceless, that would be great.
Unless we draw Microtech, in which case I believe that's a preferred play. But also we don't have that many... Yeah, no, that's...
Let's roll for, I think, Kobold.
Yeah, and if we don't draw Lackey, we just Acorn Bearer.
I think we even play that, right?
Titanic on the Rat.
On the Rat? I might have put it on the Dryad, actually, but Rat's fine. Rat, we want to keep as much stuff as possible alive to play potentially Force Aid.
Yeah, first of all, keeping a lot of stuff alive, and second of all, I generally like keeping my Dryads alive against more aggressive opponents.
But Weapon Explorer doesn't kill one of the Dryads with taunts, so maybe...
That's true. Yeah,
it was up for consideration.
I generally like keeping the Dryads up as a healing thing against other aggro decks, because...
But he drew a Vendetta. I think now it's the correct play, actually. That's good. Explodinator seems correct, intuitively.
Yes. Again, it depends a little bit on the draw, but I don't think there's too much better to be had here.
No misprint, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another Vendetta. Wow, okay. Don't see that. You don't see that much.
That falls under the category of overkill.
Well, it's pretty good starting hand. But we gotta keep the waves coming. We can't lose the board. If we lose the board, it's over. That's generally a philosophy with this deck you have to keep in mind. If you lose the board, there's not much coming back to it. You might get a lucky swipe setup sometimes, but also usually not if your opponent pays attention to it. Other than that, if you lose it, you most of the time you've lost.
That's what cards like Force Aid and Tending Torn are there for, of course. They allow you to potentially regain it.
The higher end impact cards.
Or even just to help you keep it.
Yeah. Tip it in your favor. That's the idea. You want to grab the board, never leave it. We do have the swipe on hand now, but do we pull it out as a question?
I think we just play Explodinator and Acorn Bearer and wait one more turn, because this is our rebuilding turn, not our aggressive turn, because we can always clear the board when we have stuff to attack with.
We force him to clear every turn too. If he doesn't, we have like Soul of the Force.
Yeah, and also if you actually clear with board clears, which is not as relevant for Rogue, but then you get the Goblin Bomb sitting in the face, which is always very nice as well for more aggressive decks like we kind of
Explodinator, a pretty good card in this one.
Yeah.
I like it. Generally, if you replace something, like you want to put Mechs in or something, I would not recommend taking Explodinators out. Microtech, I probably prefer taking Microtech out before you take Explodinator.
I mean, they fill a similar role. Explodinator puts up exactly 1 more in stats. The Goblin Bomb's not having attack would normally be a significant downside, but because we buff attack so much, it doesn't really matter. And then the Death Rattle becomes an extra upside. So I would argue that it's, in this particular deck, significantly better. In a lot of other decks, it's gonna be worse, though.
Correct.
If you want to include either one in something akin to Zoo, where they don't really fit that well anyways, you'd probably rather have Microtech.
Also, it wouldn't be insane to actually play, if you play Ziliax and a Snip Snap or some variety of mech editions, to actually take out the Tending Torns, because you don't lose too much value if you play the higher cards.
The Tending Torns are primarily
I think now it might be swipe time.
As a budget option.
Could also be double Squirrel and then just put Soul on it.
Yes, I don't hate it. As a matter of fact, I think we'll do that. I don't like how we don't have that much pressure going on right now. But now we can, with just something as simple as Power of the Wild, start trading off the bombs, get into bigger minions, while also dealing damage.
And have Swipe in the top. It's not necessarily a matchup where we get great face damage in right off the top, like basically uncontested board. It's going to be a board matchup. It's aggressive versus aggressive deck.
This is a little bit akin to, actually, the Combo Priest that I mentioned earlier, where you either slowly, over time, pinch in little bits of damage, or you have your one impact play, which would in this case be Savage Roar, and you just kill them in one turn.
Yeah.
That was a good Titanic Wacky, actually.
He does have a lot. He does have a lot of reload himself now, or generally has had it this game.
Yeah, we still have a pretty decent swipe setup though.
Along with Power of the Wild.
Yeah.
Leaves a bunch of trade possibilities.
Allows the Power of the Wild, hopefully a Mekaru or an Acorn Bearer as well. Actually, at this stage in the game, I might prefer Mekaru. Oh, he's gonna bounce it. I don't like that too much.
It's a good play.
Yeah, I also like it a lot more at 1 health than at 4.
That's a good play. Alright. I think we swipe. We have Force 8 next turn, so now we take care. So we swipe, we Power of the Wild.
I think we swipe this guy. Wait, can we get through all the taunts then? I don't think so, right?
Through all of them? No, but I think we swipe him because he has a Reborn, we hit the other taunt.
He has the Enrage either way. Yeah. I guess we Power of the Wild now.
Power for 1/1, and then Force 8 twice.
Yeah, always power for 1/1 if you have more than 3 minions. That's generally a rule of thumb, unless you're planning to power or Blessing of the Ancients afterwards.
And we kill taunt. We kill all taunts.
Yes.
Leave 1 health everywhere.
Yeah, this is a little bit of sadness just because we can't kill the Temple Berserker, which I would have liked.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge threat to us. We're at full health.
No, they're all 1 health. Our bombs have 1 health. They're supposed to die. I think we're fine. He doesn't seem to be running out of resources anytime quick though, because he had very good curve in terms of generation there.
Yeah, but if we draw another swipe, we can just take out the entire board.
Yeah, swipe would be great.
Otherwise, we still have favorable trades. It's looking okay.
One card that Token Druid as a general archetype has been missing for a while that used to make, and swipes a very good draw, is a Spreading Plague, if people remember that still. But
do I Whispering Woods before I swipe? We're not going to get a much better one, are we? We don't have Crystals on Portal, we only have Acorn Bearer as generation. I don't like it that much, but I think I'm going to Whispering Woods, then...
Do we swipe that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to take the trade either way. So the
could have hit 2 bombs into the 1/3 and then swiped the Zephyrus to keep him alive, but I think we want the 2/2 and the Death Rattle.
So the reason why I played the Whispering Woods here is because we don't have huge amounts of reload. We're not going to draw enough to get a best of everyone.
Crystal on Portal is not in the deck. I think that's the best use we could have got. I could have played a Hero Power there, but that was also not so great.
The Hero Power is just still worse than 2 1/1s.
Yeah.
As you can tell by 2 1/1s being an upgrade Hero Power.
And the Wisps aren't gonna... Wow, okay. So now we're basically on like a 4-turn clock. We trade everything, we have to.
Yeah, that's... I hate it when my opponent heals the 6 off of Ziliax, or 9 total with the rush.
But now we're just looking to win off of this resource, because we're gonna play likely this exact same turn 4 times in a row.
But we're not facing Warrior.
Well,
he's probably not gonna clear that 3 times in a row.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, he might clear it once, but that's probably about it.
We can even afford to take some trades if we don't get buffs and just play more.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 12 damage on board right now, 13 with the Hero Power. We can
any
put him on a 2-turn
any
clock.
given draw of Blessing or Savage Draw is probably very strong.
Oh, right. The upgraded Hero Power is pretty good in taking out individual trees.
Without taking damage. It's an important factor. But there is gonna be a lot of reload there.
Yeah, he's probably gonna take out one with like a Kobold Lackey or something. I believe he still has lackeys. He definitely still has generated cards. Some of those are definitely.
We're 29, so we're not really too worried about quick counter to the face now. So we definitely assuming the aggressive role here. We're kind of putting him on the clock, saying like you clear all this or you lose in 3 turns. And so far
that was a desperate move.
Yeah. I think having seen that, we just double Blessing Hero Power and say we win.
I was about to say that is was it 16, 17 that we're gonna hit?
That's what we'll do, yeah.
This turn, and he goes down to like 6.
That Soulfire just gave away the fact that he cannot deal with this.
Congratulations, you're at 6. We have
got him.
Like if 1 minion survives on our board, we need to find 1 damage somehow.
Yeah.
Our deck does damage.
Force Aid 3 times.
Yeah, also like...
I mentioned it before the video, before we get into the game, but Force Aid.
Assuming...
Great card.
Assuming we have only 1 minion left at the end of the turn, then still Blessing is lethal, Savage Roar is lethal, Tending Torrent is lethal.
That's 2 turn lethal, which is
Power of the Wild is lethal. Evil Cavalry can be lethal.
Yeah. It's pulling everything out. But you're not surviving this.
Oh, I forgot that we're facing a rogue. That would have been a valid way to set up our what's it called? Whispering Woods.
Yeah. But I think the play was correct the way we made it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wasn't.
I think that was sort of the decisive phase there of who takes the control, and then the 2 Forest 8 coming in was too much. Actually, 1.
I was about to say we didn't even need it.
But that would have cleared it. That would have defeated everything that he had in terms of removal, which he didn't have much. So key card in that matchup, obviously we've mentioned it, but very, very strong. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Alright, Hunter time. We're thinking mech mid-range possibilities. Secret might be the worst matchup if he gets his explosive traps. Correctly.
Here's the thing, right? Whispering Woods is generally speaking a keep. It's even more so with a coin, without so not as much.
Macro is definitely keep, but we're gonna keep
so I'm gonna keep 1 Whispering Woods. Never keep 2 Whispering Woods.
No.
I would have liked an Acorn Bearer even more, because then I would have definitely been able to use the...
Makes Whispering better.
Whispering Woods.
But we have 1-drop, we have one of our key cards in Whispering Woods.
Listen, if you have a coin and an Acorn Bearer, you love Whispering Woods.
Oh, you do. For sure, you do.
I've had some really good games with just turn 1 Acorn Bearer, he kills it, turn 3 you coin out of Whispering Woods for a full board, and then you just start buffing it, or Soul of the Forest, or whatever.
Stylish board. Time to win. Alright, we have 2 1-drops now.
We do. Here's the thing. If he doesn't clear, we have a strong board. If he does clear, we have a good Whispering Woods.
We have Whispering Woods.
That is always a nice thing about playing the Acorn Bearer.
Do 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Handcuff.
There is really no outcome besides silencing that...
Yeah, Master Spell.
...ruins that. But yeah, no.
No.
I think we just blessing once and hit the face, right?
Yep.
We play aggro now.
We play aggro.
The reason why we're blessing rather than Power of the Wild is because the outcome is the same and it's more mana efficient.
Mana efficient, and we still have the option of summoning the Panther if we wanted it later.
Yes, and we have more cards on hand for Whispering Woods. Yep. There is 3 reasons that are valid here. But yeah, the main one there I thought of was mana efficiency, though. That
imagine just out aggroing a Hunter. Still 2 turns to go. On turn 4, we likely think of Ziliax at least and consider clearing.
Actually, I like killing the I like making this trade though, and then just going for the Whispering
Right now
Woods.
trade?
Not full trade, just the 1 trade.
Okay. I thought trade next turn, but okay.
And then we have a huge hand. We can do this.
Go face with the rest.
He's gonna trade 1 away.
Yeah. I thought see my line that I thought of first was like was Rat Power, go face with everything. Next turn we clear if we have to because of Ziliax.
Here's the thing. He clears 1, and then we Power of the Wild Blessing of Ancients, and we
that's the other line, yeah. That's how we avoid Ziliax completely unless he coins it out. Okay. Unleash Challenge was the hard counter to this one, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean that's gonna happen. Yeah. You can't really play around that too much.
The main thing we wanted to play around was Ziliax in the near future.
Well, he could have. I guess he could have coined it this turn if he had it, but also on the macro it's not.
But
as
if he did that, then I would have actually been okay with it.
Yeah. Also on the macro it's not as nearly as bad as on the.
Or Citron or bigger stuff.
Yeah.
So this I'm pretty okay with. We can still put up another board.
Yeah, we can put up 4 minions next turn. So that's cool.
Looking for Ziliax hard now with the track. Makes sense. I think that's good play.
He picked relatively fast.
He might have found it. I think we trade the 1/1s and build a board again.
Don't we trade the 2/2 into the 1/1 to keep our stuff? I generally like...
Unleash just hits again so hard, right?
It always hits us hard. We can't really play around Unleash that effectively.
Oh, no, we know he's the Mastiff. That's why you play stuff first in this case.
Yeah, we're somewhat aggressive still. Yeah. Again, we have, right now, just the buffs in our hand alone are 12 damage. Yeah. That's how I calculate lethal, by the way. You calculate the buffs first.
You calculate... No, you calculate board first.
No, I like for these just because the buffs are clear multiples. so I can relatively fast calculate the buffs.
Yeah, I usually count attack on board and then calculate
That's-
a buff multiplier. Oh, my Mist Launcher is very strong. That might be even a better coin than Zodiacs, actually. That's very strong. It's could be Torn.
I was about to say Torn for 2/2s.
For 2/2s.
And then just ignore the missile launcher for a turn.
If you put Zilliax on it, we likely lose, actually. Because then,
Venomizer is also pretty bad.
Yes.
Although if you put Venomizer on there, we're just gonna hit him in the face with our hero power every turn. And put up stuff on the board for him to hopefully...
But no. But either of those two cards are probably winning right now.
Venomizer makes Explodinator deal 4 damage. Hero power deal 1 every turn. And the missile launcher also deals 1 to his face. Which is very important when you're behind on life.
Yeah.
So,
We'll definitely try if it's Venomizer. If it's Zilliax, we're probably lost. So Venomizer will try and hopefully draw
if it's Zilliax, he just heals all sorts
if
and
it's Zilliax, he wins.
kills off half our board.
We're looking at Menace.
Yeah, that's just extra face damage or better trades. That's not really huge.
But that's not so good. Like he can't play aggro. He has to actually look to.
You know, I was saying better trades. Yeah. He's at 11. That's lethal, right?
Go for it.
5 plus 6 is already lethal. Yeah, plus 6 is lethal. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. This is lethal without hero power.
So no Zilliax. That was a good play. Zilliax would have killed us. It was a critical moment. One more. Yeah, let's do it. Another rogue again. All right.
I like facing rogues almost just in general because I feel like rogues have so many bad matchups.
Yeah, but rogues can be annoying too sometimes. I don't necessarily love rogue as a class to face, even though they tend to be some of the most inconsistent classes.
Also, you just saw me drop a really good Blessing of Ancients. Rule of thumb is I don't like keeping buffs if I don't have the minions to buff. So
Whispering Woods is a definite keep with the coin, and Acorn Boar is also a great draw. So far, I think we've seen so far how the deck does really well with exactly what we said it was going to do with it, which is the consistency. It plays super smoothly. And I like Acorn Bear a lot.
See, Acorn Bear sounds like a good trade for him.
Yeah, but we have moments coming up. It's good for us.
Yeah, I was about to say, also just look at our hand after this.
Yeah. Good stuff coming up. Good stuff coming up. I think we'll play him.
I hope we draw something else.
No, I think we play him. We have to play him. We have to keep. It's same philosophy as first game.
Yeah. Also, right now we still have 6 cards in hand. Makes that 7 minus the coin minus the Whispering Wood, so we still summon 5 at least, which is on value.
I might like Explodinator better.
Depends a little bit on the board state. Fan of Knives, of course, is a hard counter to Whispering Woods. Right now, as long as we don't play more than 1 card per turn, we can keep Whispering Woods, kind of. But if you play more than 1 card per turn, then Whispering Woods progressively gets worse. Yeah, no, I think Explodinator is fine.
Do we not rat now?
Yeah, sure.
Because most lackeys will just play. Whispering Woods for full board next turn, and then we go from there, right?
Yeah. Then is when we hope to draw the Blessings and the Power of the Wild and Savage Roar a little later. Soul Force.
Tending Torn is a coin reach if we need it. Soul's Force 8.
You know what I found
is valuable.
Is a surprisingly big problem with Tending Torn.
What?
Sometimes you just don't have the board space.
Yeah. Gotta kill something off.
I've had issues before. It doesn't happen that much that you absolutely can't deal with it. But not being able to play your minion-based buffs is actually an issue sometimes.
That's usually a good problem.
I was about to say it's not very crippling when it happens, but yeah.
See, now I think Whispering Woods is now probably at its strongest. The Fan of Knives still, fair enough, good job holding it, but we tested for it basically, like soft tested.
And also the upgraded weapon is just so annoying as the rogue player. Like, I have a 3-attack weapon.
Doesn't help you.
I want to hit it into 1 health minion. That just feels so bad every time.
Doesn't help you at all. So. Good way to negate 1 hit of those. Fan of Knives is very strong. Then we'll have to think of something else. But
Fan of Knives is generally the rogue's best card in this matchup. That's just how it is.
Ever since Vanish is gone, rogue has become worse against the sword.
Oh right, Vanish is gone.
Fan of Knives is arguably the best. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's like backstab, SI7 agent, hit, maybe another backstab.
Maybe Shiv or something.
I doubt that they run it.
Highlander decks can run it.
Right.
But more for the need of just filling something in than actually wanting to play it.
Yeah, also draw. Draw is very important in Highlander decks in particular.
By the way, dead giveaway for Highlander decks is Sandbinder these days.
Yes, because it draws your Zephyrs.
Yeah.
I think we actually Kettle Rat and then Bees, right?
Rat, Bees, yeah. Rat on the Bees on the agent, I think. Or do we even just go on the life drinker? No, wait, no, we have this.
Cobalt.
Coin Bees?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
But trade one in first, right? So the board makes sense.
What?
Trade one of the wisps and so we don't lose a bee from the summoning.
Don't they summon attack?
Do they?
I mean, I can...
Yeah, just do that. It's a beast, so we'll do that. Coin Bees on the agent.
Oh, they do. Alright, they do
Yeah,
also.
so we would have missed out on one bee.
I always mess up my Bees mechanics. I play it so rarely because oftentimes...
I played it a bit. And,
yeah. I know it comes up, but I feel like it doesn't come up as much, but when it does, it's very important usually.
Not so much that you have to calculate the board space stuff, but that's just a minor thing to pay attention to. You don't want to just give up one bee for free.
Effectively, we lost 1 damage this turn in favor of 1 damage every turn.
Yeah, one minion, one more power on the board.
Yeah. What?
And art stuff. Oof, what is this?
I've never seen that happen.
No. That looks awful. I mean, you know how Armageddon does the weird stuff with the purple square and it doesn't go?
No, I don't know that, no.
Like, the summoning thing with Armageddon, it looks weird, but that was also that was crazy.
I believe it's Swipe. I want to say it's Swipe.
It looks like, well, Swipe is...
It could be Tending Torn, but that seems
Swipe
a little weird.
Swipe looks so weak, I think.
What you gonna do, Tending Torn and reduce everything to 1 health right away? It's a weak Tending Torn and you're already devaluing all the minions that you buffed. I think
Swipe's not strong right now. I like Torn and Explodinator better, actually. I like both of them better.
Explodinator Hero Power Pass?
Yeah.
I mean, Hero Power Hit.
I would have preferred Torn still. It's good curve play. We have Forest 8. Yeah, 1/1's just trade. He's got 3 cards in his hand. What is he going to do? Like, he's going to deal with these guys?
I don't have the Torn play that much.
Intuitively, this is the best. This is my favorite play, but maybe it's up to interpretation. Like, what line do you kind of want to go?
Well, Swipe Hero Power sacks 1 minion, and you still got 2 1/1s left on the board.
But 2 1/1s are not even close to as strong as this one, and he's running out of resources. We have Forest 8 now. We provoke him to deal with stuff every turn, so he can't play his plan, and Forest 8 just wins it.
Yeah.
And now maybe Swipe might be better.
Yeah, right now Swipe looks actually pretty good with 2/1 as well. Although Reborn Minion's always a little awkward. I like the Microtech as a up-top play. So this is the trade there.
Yeah, that and there, and the Microtech.
Yeah.
Straightforward, actually.
Yeah, no.
2 cards.
I generally don't like the huge health losses on our minions that much.
Yeah,
But
we're not
Hero Power is way weaker is the problem.
We're not under time pressure either here.
Yeah, also we have plays the next 2 turns at least that completely fill the board. So that's
And that's what he has to do. You've seen Forest 8. You know how Forest 8 does against Rogue.
Also, Forest 8 can easily turn a losing matchup into a winning matchup, like just on the 2 turns it's played.
Play Fan of Knives right now. Be my guest. I win in 2 turns.
I was just gonna run the dagger into the 3/1 and maybe play like a backstab SI7 combo again.
He may. Might not even do anything.
What would you have on hand that you wouldn't want to play?
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy, yeah.
SSM without combo. Edwin Van Cleef.
SSM without combo, Miscreant without combo.
Well, Explodinator and Hero Power.
Let me quickly.
It's not quite enough this
calculate.
turn.
16 plus 4 is 20 is 21.
Not
That's
quite.
very close.
We don't right now. We just play Explodinator. Nice and easy. Hero Power.
Yeah, no, I know.
He has no answer.
The thing is, and I said this last expansion as well, I always like to, even when the opponent's near full,
Just calculate.
just when there's 3 or 4 minions on board, just calculate how much I can make happen.
Of calculating, that's correct.
Because with 3 minions, you just saw what I calculated. I can deal 21
That's
damage.
a lot of damage. If
Just
it was
with
4
3
minions,
minions.
we win the spot.
One more minion would have won.
And now we have all the tools that we need.
And a third Salvatore, theoretically, would have also won.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, we don't have the mana for it either, but yeah. It's power of the wild.
Right, we're at 8.
Power of the wild would have won there.
No, it wouldn't, because it would have only been 2 points of extra damage.
Wasn't it 3 minions on the board?
Yes, but I can't hero power. And 21 to 23 or 24 both don't matter against 26. It's close, but no.
Wait, it's 2 extra, right?
Yes, it's 2 extra.
You said 1 extra.
I said
I think it's a 1, but okay, whatever. We win.
We have
we win now. Very simple. Very, very simple. You're gonna bees them?
1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna bees him.
Just go for the bees. Why not? Got him. Very good. Very clean showing.
Just had to triple check that I'm not somehow messing up
the
lethal.
mana cost, yeah.
But
very, very good showing. I like this deck a lot, and I hope from watching this you also do. And we showed off really well how this did in testing too. I like the consistency of it.
yeah,
Really smooth. That was 3 games just back to back and clean wins for the most part of it too. Now, not every deck's gonna look at it. You're gonna run 2 warriors.
yeah, you're gonna run into priests that are just gonna, unless they draw poorly and you draw really well, are just gonna kill you.
You're gonna be able to. You're gonna just be kind of out tempoed on the board by the like you said, the Ahmed Psychopomp sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna run to warriors who can just flat out deal with all those waves that you put down. It's gonna clear up.
Yeah, although
4
warriors
Force 8 back to
do
back.
have to draw decently well still to deal with it.
Even
I have won against warriors before when
It is
just
possible.
didn't draw enough removal fast enough.
It is possible. You're gonna be running into that. Generally, though, it's a very good deck. So if you do that, maybe even 3 games in a row, you're into warrior. Don't give up. Keep playing, and you play the odds. You play a lot of games.
Yeah.
Very important or underrated advice too. People asking how do I climb the ladder? How do I go higher? The first thing is how many games do you play? Because if you play 10 games with a deck and you say, okay, I won 4, or I won 5, this is not good enough. That's not true. Play 100. I know not everyone has the time, but the key to climbing is find an okay deck, a decent deck. This is fine. This serves you for all your climbing needs, I want to say, as do most of our budget decks, and then play a lot of games. The quantity sometimes is also more important than the quality.
Yeah, that's also, by the way, a fun fact. I've never reached Legend because I never bothered to put in, like, the hours just to grind out. I reach rank 5 every season. Yeah. I've reached rank 2 before, I believe, but it's like, dude, you have to put in so many matches to get to that Legend.
Thousands. Rank. I played Odd Paladin to reach Legend during Rastakhan's for the first time. I filled up my 500 Paladin wins in 1 month. Yeah. Basically.
And one more thing that's very important, we've mentioned it throughout the gameplay as well. In this case, it's know what role you're playing. That's generally good advice in Hearthstone, but I think with a sort of mid-range deck like this one, it's in particular important. Yeah. Against aggro, you have to make sure to not let them overrun you. Against control, you have to put on constant pressure.
Definitely.
And you always have to know which role you're playing.
Against the rogues, I've stressed it when we played it, but board, so important. Yeah. You play the board. If you can establish it, he's not gonna deal with it every single time, and just keep going with it. You take trades, you forego damage because you're gonna have impact 20 turns later. So
and against warrior, you just have to push it.
You have to push it.
They
you
can't
have nothing to
always
lose.
Deal fast enough with it. But when they can, you're lost anyways.
If you're on turn 10, they have a full hand, you're probably lost. But you gotta go for it, exactly. It's different matchup to matchup, but you're gonna figure it out. If you have any questions about this, by the way, drop them in the comments. Obviously, we'll answer them for you, or you can also go join our Discord server, link in the description, which is free. Big Hearthstone community, got a lot of new players, intermediate players, semi-professional players, and something that's pretty cool. You want to talk about the tournament?
Yeah.
You can freely, which means it is free to participate in the first ever
Trash Bowl.
Trash Bowl, which is a Hearthstone tournament that's going to be hosted on this YouTube channel.
You can win prizes.
You can win some prizes, can win some packs, some video games, and some eternal fame and recognition in the community if you want to do that. The information to that is in the Discord server as well. There's a video.
Link to the video in the description.
There's a video in the description, which is the announcement
also,
video.
info card. That's where I go.
Outline the rules for it. Go have a look at it if you're interested in playing. Completely for free, just for fun, but win some stuff. Just register for it, and hopefully we'll see you there. And it's a good way to kind of experiment with some of those decks that you might have seen in these budget series, and just get some practical experience on a maybe a decently high level, but mostly just for the fun of competition. So hopefully we'll be able to welcome you in the community soon. And until next time, JJ.
That's it.
That's it.